Hey guys and gals, Greg Silverman here, Chief Investment Officer with another session of Come Learn With Me. Interesting articles for last week. So interesting specs was last week. There was a gold and silver article now on carbon neutral aerospace technology. So we like defense and aerospace, and so this is one of our minis, and so this was an interesting article to percolate up. Aircraft Lessor Rockton pivots to carbon neutral aerospace technologies. I guess another reason this is interesting is because a lot of specs seem to be moving in the way of EV aircraft. Aircraft Lessor Rockton, which was once the world's biggest independent lessor of Saab aircraft and had signed a letter of intent for Mitsubishi Aircraft SpaceJet, is largely exiting the aircraft leasing business and instead investing to develop hybrid electric aircraft technologies. It sees that commercial aircraft leasing has become less financially rewarding, that existing aircraft technologies have largely peaked, and that airlines will soon be adopting new technologies to reduce carbon emissions. Rockton Managing Director Nicholas Lunt tells Smart Aviation APAC. Lunt says, when the Swedish lessor examined the trends in the market, we could see two trends. One is that in terms of aircraft development with existing technologies, engines, and to some extent airframes, you reach the end, so to speak, because the incremental improvements you can get out of engines and airframes is not that large. But you still need to invest a lot of dollars for that incremental improvement, even though the efficiency improvements are flattening out. Here, he says the other key trend is the global push towards sustainability and reducing greenhouse gases. We probably have the best view of that being Sweden. Most corporations here in Sweden realized pretty early that going sustainable is not something you were forced into, but that instead they realized that this is going to be a competitive advantage. If you don't get on this sustainability bandwagon, then you might lose your market share dramatically. He says the push towards sustainability is not just driven by government, but also by the investment community, and because of this, the sustainability movement will continue to gain momentum. Business generally moves much quicker than legislators. Having big investment funds such as BlackRock promoting sustainability has a big impact. These big funds have made up their mind and have stressed the point, so basically everyone has to jump on the bandwagon. We don't have a choice. He also says you will increasingly see corporates putting more and more pressure on the airlines. Businesses will look at their travel policies. Large corporations with large travel budgets, such as Microsoft, have already vowed to be carbon neutral. Corporations will want to fly with the airlines with the least emissions. He says the challenge for airlines is that if they want to be sustainable, the tools for achieving that are pretty limited as of today. But we can see there are new technologies that are getting close to being commercially available. So we say this is an area we want to focus on. It means the business will be in. It means the business we will be in is different to being a lessor. We basically need to invest in technology which will eventually become aircraft assets. Rockton assessed all electric, hybrid electric, and hydrogen-powered aircraft technologies. The solution we are most excited about is the hybrid electric solution. Hybrid electric gives you more range, and if you were all electric, and hybrid electric technology could become fully electric once the technology development has been able to increase the battery's energy density, I beg your pardon. I'm convinced it will get there eventually because battery development is increasing all the time, he adds. Hydrogen-powered aircraft is more complex as it involves complete redesigns of aircraft, and there are infrastructure challenges, transportation, and adequate supply of hydrogen at airports. A bit about our hydrogen, so let's get these in the notes. Rockton's website was recently revamped to reflect the company's new business focus. The company's homepage now has a picture of an aircraft from Zunum Aero, a U.S. company originally backed by Boeing, Horizon X, and JetBlue Technology Ventures. This is developing a family of hybrid electric aircraft up to 50 seats. When asked about Rockton's association with Zunum, Lunt replied, We have some involvement with them. We are not exclusive with them, but it is a company we have followed for a long time and have involvement with them. I would say we are a stakeholder. It declines to elaborate further for commercial confidentiality reasons and adds that stakeholders is a general enough term that can mean different things. Rockton's pivot is a result of new technology taking shape, but also in response to demand from airlines. Lund says airlines in Europe and some airlines in North America, Australia, and New Zealand are already making real plans about how to achieve zero emission or close to zero emission. When we speak to airlines, the airline point of view is that going sustainable is an added cost. But he says the benefit of hybrid electric is that they can reduce airline operating costs, which makes some routes viable that are not viable today with existing technology. Hybrid electric aircraft have a turbine inside the airframe that generates electricity to power the aircraft's electric motors that also draw electricity from batteries. The argument for hybrid electric is that the electric motors have fewer moving parts, so cheaper to maintain, and electricity in the batteries can come from an abundant, low-cost, renewable energy source such as wind and solar. Lund says hybrid electric technology has potential to be scaled up to a 50-seat aircraft by the end of 2029 and potentially even larger aircraft in the 30s. Rockton, which is headquartered in Sweden, has a portfolio of one Airbus A320, two Bombardier CRJ1000s, two Saab 2000s, and some spare engines, including wide-body engines, says Lund, adding that the leasing company in recent years has been steadily selling its aircraft. It was once the largest independent lessor of Saab aircraft, with a huge fleet of Saab 340s and Saab 2000s, many leased to European airlines. The company has also signed a letter of intent at the Farnborough Air Show in 2016 for 10 Mitsubishi aircraft, MRJ-90 aircraft, now called M90 SpaceJet, with an option for 10 more. Rockton was the first European company to order the aircraft and was announced at the time that Rockton would begin taking delivery in 2020. We are on the route to executing an order there, but then we saw the bigger trends in the market and how new aircraft development with existing technologies gives you improvements in performance and fuel efficiency, but it is not fantastic improvement, said Lund. In terms of aircraft that are powered by today's turbine engine technology, Lund said the only aircraft Rockton is interested in are those that do special mission work to help the environment, such as firefighting aircraft and maritime surveillance aircraft. Besides helping the environment, the other benefit of such asset is that the operator usually has a long-term stable contract with a government agency, which then means less risk for the lessor, acknowledges Lund. When asked if the new commuter aircraft coming out of factories today can still generate adequate returns on investment over the next 30 years, Lund replies, if you take a 50-seater like the ATR 42, which is the only 50-seater left in the market, I think that should be a good investment. But once we get into the 2040s, it will get difficult for assets like that. With the push towards sustainability, the carbon emission requirements will only increase, and there will be new aircraft with much lower emissions available on the market. Well, there you have it. That's the insider scoop. Let's just check what was this. Not sure which. Oh, that's the Mitsubishi aircraft that mentioned. Okay, 50-seater. Nice little private one. Okay, hope you guys enjoyed that. And yeah, looks like the airlines are making a bit of a comeback now. So stay tuned. You all be well. Take care. Bye-bye.